Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something huge, the global entertainment market.
Huge is right. It's changing so fast.
Exactly. And we're digging into a really interesting report from Cognitive Market Research to pull out the key stuff for you. So, our mission basically is to give you the fast track on the market size, the trends, what's happening where, get you up to speed quickly.
Sounds good.
And the headline number here is pretty dramatic. We're talking about growth from around $28 billion globally back in 2021.
Which was already substantial.
Right. And it's projected to shoot up to nearly $74 billion by 2033. That's a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR of over 8%.
Yeah, 8.359% to be precise.
Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here is these numbers, they aren't just, abstract figures.
No, they tell a story.
Exactly. Understanding where this is all heading gives you real insights into, future economic shifts, cultural changes too, all over the world, where people are spending their time, where the money's flowing.
How we're all connecting, really.
Precisely.
Okay, so to really get a handle on that, we kind of need to break it down region by region.
Definitely. Each area has its own dynamic.
Yeah, some surprising growth spots pop up when you look closer. Let's start with North America, still a major player, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
So their market, looking at the projections, is set to go from about $8.15 billion in 2021
Okay.
up to $11.16 billion by 2025, and then hitting over $20 billion, $20.348 billion by 2033.
So a solid growth rate there, around 7.8% CAGR.
Right. But digging into North America itself is interesting, too.
It is. You see, the United States is naturally the biggest chunk, about $6.6 billion in 2021, heading towards $16.2 billion by 2033. That's roughly 7.6% CAGR.
Still very strong.
Very strong. But look at Canada, smaller market, starting around $1 billion in 2021.
Okay.
It's forecast to hit almost $3 billion, $2.9 billion by 2033. And its CAGR, that's projected at over 9.3%.
Wow. Noticeably higher than the U.S. then.
It is. And this raises an important question. Why that difference? Why is Canada growing faster in percentage terms?
Right. What could be driving that?
Well, often when you see that kind of acceleration in a comparatively smaller market, it might be hitting a sweet spot, maybe faster digital uptake in some areas, or perhaps local content initiatives really gaining steam.
That makes sense. It's those details that make the numbers interesting. Okay, let's cross the Atlantic. Europe.
Another big market, obviously.
Yeah, their total revenues climbed from about $5.3 billion in 21, heading to $7.2 billion in 2025, and forecasted around $13.1 billion by 2033. So a CAGR quite similar in North America overall, about 7.7%.
That's right. And like North America, Europe isn't monolithic. You've got diverse growth stories within it.
Like France, for instance.
Exactly. France shows really strong growth, projected over 9% CAGR, going from just under $0.6 billion to over $1.6 billion.
Okay.
And the report notes that, the big players, UK, Germany, Italy, Russia, Spain, they're all in similar upward paths.
Right.
But what also stands out is the rest of Europe category. That group is growing really fast, too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, projected to go from about $1.2 billion to almost $3.4 billion by 2033. That's a EAGR of over 9.1%.
So even higher than France's rate.
Just slightly, yes.
Right.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it kind of mirrors the North America situation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
These established big economies grow steadily, but there's this really dynamic growth happening in the collective other smaller markets.
Yeah, that's a great point. Okay, now, Asia Pacific. This is where apparently things get really interesting.
Oh, absolutely. This region is, it's booming.
The numbers are huge. Over $11 billion back in 2021. Projected to hit almost $31 billion by 2033.
30.958 billion is massive.
And the CAGR reflects that nearly 9%, 8.942%. That's set to make it the largest regional market, right?
But by a significant margin, yes.
So what's driving that incredible surge?
Well, what's fascinating here is the sheer speed and scale in specific countries. Look at India.
Okay.
Starting at about 1.6 billion in 2021, projected to hit almost 5 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR over 10%.
10%? Wow.
And then there's Singapore. It's projected to grow from around 0.4 billion to nearly 1.3 billion. Its CAGR, the highest reported in the study, over 10.4%.
Incredible. Why Singapore, do you think? So high.
Well, it often points to a very tech-savvy population, high digital penetration, maybe a hub for regional content or investment.
Yeah.
It's compact, but punches above its weight digitally.
Makes sense.
And you can't ignore Southeast Asia as a whole either. also seeing massive growth, a CAGR over 10.2%.
Just underscores the dynamism there.
Absolutely. It's really leading the charge in terms of growth rate.
Okay, let's keep moving. South America.
Also showing really impressive growth, expected to roughly triple its market size between 2021 and 2033.
Triple. So starting at about 1.9 billion.
Yep, heading towards 5.5 billion by 2033. That's a strong CAGR too, around 9.4%.
Very strong. Any standouts there?
Brazil's a big one, naturally. Projected to go from 0.6 billion to almost 1.7 billion. That's nearly a 9% CAGR just for Brazil. And the report mentions others like Argentina, Colombia. The rest of the South America category also showing double-digit growth potential. So it's pretty broad-based expansion happening.
Good to see. All right, next up, the Middle East.
Steady expansion here.
Yeah, the numbers show about 1 billion in 2021, growing to maybe 1.3 billion in 2025, and projected to reach around 2.24 billion by 2033.
Which gives it a KGR of about 6.8%.
Right.
The key players mentioned are the UAE, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Qatar.
Okay.
And it is interesting as you look across all the regions, this one has the lowest projected CGR.
Yeah, I noticed that. Still growing, but slower than, say, Asia Pacific or South America.
Right. It suggests maybe a different market maturity level, perhaps different speeds in digital rollout or content adoption compared to those, really booming regions. Still consistent growth, just measured.
Got it. And finally, Africa, a region often talked about for its potential.
And the numbers bear that out. Projected to also roughly triple in size.
So from around 0.6 billion in 2021 to nearly 1.8 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR of about 8.8%.
Pretty robust.
Very. Within Africa, Nigeria and South Africa are highlighted as key contributors.
Okay.
But again, that rest of Africa category is also showing really strong collective growth, around 9.2% CAGR.
So similar pattern again.
It seems so. And it really points to, exciting potential across the continent, especially given the demographics, youth population, and rising smartphone use.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, so we've toured the globe, seen these big numbers, different speeds. So what does this all mean? What are the underlying forces, according to the report, that are actually driving all this growth everywhere?
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the report really flags a few critical interconnected drivers.
Okay, like what?
Well, first, obviously, streaming services, video, music, podcasts, you name it. They've just fundamentally changed access.
Made content global and instant? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly. Second, and this is huge, the rise of regional and local content. People want stories that resonate with their own culture, their own language, and platforms are delivering that.
Yeah, you see that everywhere now.
Third, mobile consumption. For billions of people, especially in Asia Pacific, Africa, South America, the smartphone is the main screen, period.
Right. Entertainment in your pocket.
Precisely. And finally, underpinning it all, is digital monetization. Subscriptions, ads, in-app purchases, finding ways to pay for all this content digitally.
So those four things work together.
Absolutely. They reinforce each other. More mobile access drives demand for streaming, which fuels investment in local content, which needs effective digital payment models. It's a cycle.
And that explains the different TGR.
It helps, yeah. Regions with faster mobile adoption and maybe a stronger surge in local content demand, like parts of Asia Pacific, tend to show those higher KGRs we saw. More mature markets might have slower but still solid growth as that digital shift continues.
That really pulls it all together. So this deep dive, it really paints a picture of a market just transforming incredibly quickly.
It's a massive shift.
Yeah, going from that 28 billion in 2021 to potentially almost 74 billion by 2033. We hope this run-through has given you, a quick way to get informed, maybe spark some aha moments, but just how big this is.
And this raises an important question, I think, for you listening. How will this ongoing evolution, more streaming, more local voices, more mobile viewing, new ways to pay, how will that continue to shape not just the business side, but our actual daily lives, our culture?
That's a great point. It touches everything.
It really does. How we connect, how we understand different perspectives globally.
Absolutely. And maybe one last thing for you to chew on. As you think about all this growth, what comes next? What emerging tech or maybe shifts in how we behave as consumers could push these numbers even higher? Or maybe disrupt these forecasts entirely in the next few years?
Always something around the corner.
Always is. Food for thought. We want to thank you for joining us on The Deep Dive.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep exploring. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping headfirst into the global entertainment market. It's a really fascinating world.
Absolutely. So much is changing so fast.
Exactly. And our mission here is basically to cut through all that noise, give you a clear picture of what's going on. We're looking at, what's driving the growth?
Mm,
What are the big roadblocks, the hurdles it's facing?
right.
And maybe most interesting, what trends are popping up that are really shaping its future?
Yeah, the trends are key.
Think of this as like your essential shortcut to understanding this massive industry. It affects all of us, right? Whether you just watch movies or you're actually working in it.
Definitely.
And just so you know, all the insights we're digging into today, they're backed by the latest research from cognitive market research.
Solid stuff.
Okay, so let's unpack this. When we talk about the global entertainment industry, what are the big engines? What's really fueling this huge expansion we're seeing worldwide?
Well, I think what's truly transformative, really, is how global accessibility has shifted things. Entertainment isn't a luxury anymore. It's like an assumed part of daily life for so many. This huge demand for digital content consumption.
Yeah.
It's driven by, streaming platforms everywhere, smartphones in every pocket, high-speed internet becoming more common.
Right.
It just means films, music, games.
Yeah.
They're literally right there at your fingertips, on demand. It's not just that the stuff is available, it's the ease of getting to it.
Yeah.
That's the core thing.
That ease of access, yeah, that sounds like a total game changer. So it's not just that the content exists, but how incredibly simple it is for people to find it and press play.
Precisely. And a huge part of that simplicity, that seamlessness, is the expansion of OTT. Over-the-top services delivering content straight over the internet.
Like Netflix and those guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Netflix, Disney+, Spotify. They're not just selling you a movie or a song, they're selling an experience, right? An all-you-can-eat buffet through monthly plans with massive libraries tailored just for you. That model, it's completely changed how we think about value and how companies make money from content.
Okay, so that's the digital side.
Yeah, but beyond digital,
Yeah.
if you look in the bigger picture, socioeconomically, you've got rapid urbanization happening, especially in developing regions.
Right, more people moving to cities.
And they have increasing disposable incomes. So more people in cities with more money to spend on leisure, that reshapes everything.
How so?
Well, whether it's going out to the cinema, buying concert tickets, or even just upgrading their TV and sound system at home, it just creates this massive growing consumer base for entertainment. It's kind of democratizing it on a huge scale.
Wow, okay. That's a potent mix, isn't it? You've got the digital access meeting this rising economic power. Sounds like a perfect storm for growth.
Absolutely. It really is. And then layered on top of all that, you have the tech itself, the advancements in actually creating and delivering the content.
You mean like better picture quality and stuff?
Yeah, things like 4K, even 8K streaming, virtual reality, augmented reality, even AI starting to generate media. These aren't just making things look prettier or sound better.
Yeah.
No, they're creating entirely new ways to engage, more immersive experiences. It's pushing the boundaries of what entertainment can even be. It's not just small steps, it's leaps.
Okay, so those are some really powerful forces pushing things forward, the tailwinds, you could say. But every boom has its challenges, right? What are the main things holding it back, or maybe even threading it?
Oh, that's a really crucial point. Yeah, the growth is there, it's undeniable, but the industry faces some significant headwinds too.
Like what?
Well, the old classic, content piracy and copyright infringement. It's still a massive problem.
Still, even with all the legal options.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just about the money lost, though. That's huge. It's actually forcing the industry to fundamentally rethink the value of content and how fast they need to deliver it legally. Creators basically have to make legal access so easy, so instant, that it just kills the appeal of downloading illegally. It's like this constant arms race.
I see. What else?
Then there's the sheer cost. The cost of production and distribution, especially for things like big blockbuster films or AAA video games.
Right, those budgets are insane.
Exactly. We're talking, colossal amounts of money needed up front before you see a single dollar back. That's a massive barrier to entry for smaller players, and it can stifle innovation if only the giants can afford to play.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Even if demand is high, just affording to make the thing can be a huge bottleneck, like indie game developers trying to compete.
Precisely. And then you add the global dimension, regulations and censorship issues. They vary wildly from country to country. What's totally fine in one place might be completely banned somewhere else. This makes distributing content globally really complex, often slowing down those big worldwide releases everyone wants. It's a constant balancing act.
The tightrope walk, yeah.
And finally, something newer perhaps.
Yeah.
The fragmentation of audience attention. There's just so much content out there now.
Information overload.
Totally. It's getting harder and harder to actually capture and keep someone's attention when they're drowning in millions of options across countless platforms. That's a real restraint now.
That really hits home, that battle for eyeballs.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, though, is that saturation purely a negative thing, or are some companies maybe finding a silver lining by, like, focusing on super niche audiences?
That's a really sharp question. And yeah, you're onto something. While it definitely makes mass market appeal harder, it absolutely forces companies to get incredibly good at finding and serving very specific niches, hyper-targeting. And that kind of paradoxically can build these incredibly loyal, though maybe smaller, fan bases. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword, demands a lot of strategic thinking, a lot of agility.
That's a fantastic insight. Okay, so given all that, the drivers and these challenges, what does it all mean for the future? When we look ahead, what are the really big trends we should be watching? The things shaping what we'll all be watching, playing, listening to next?
Well, looking at the bigger picture, the trends definitely point towards more personalization, more immersion, and kind of blurring the lines between things.
Okay.
First off, you absolutely cannot ignore the rise of user-generated content and short-form video. Think TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Everywhere. And they're not just popular, they're fundamentally changing how users interact. It's all about bite-sized, often raw, authentic-feeling content. And crucially, it's often made by regular users.
Right.
That's a huge paradigm shift, isn't it? Anyone with a phone can basically be a creator now, which is incredibly exciting, but also, frankly, pretty chaotic for the traditional media companies.
So it's not just what the big studios pump out anymore, it's what we're all creating and sharing. That totally shifts the power dynamic.
It absolutely does. And sort of alongside that, you see this increased investment in original and regional content.
What do you mean by regional?
Like the global streaming giants. They're now pouring money into making local shows and films in local languages all over the world. They've figured out that a one-size-fits-all American or European show doesn't always cut it globally.
Ah, makes sense.
People want cultural relevance, authenticity. They want stories that reflect their own lives.
Okay, what else is trending?
Then there's the growth in immersive entertainment, using tech like VR and AR.
Virtual reality and augmented reality.
Yeah. Think about virtual concerts, feeling like you're right there in the front row, but you're actually in your living room. Or interactive stories where you make choices that affect the outcome. It takes engagement to a whole new level, offering really unique ways to experience things. And finally, a really huge one, cross-industry collaborations and what people call media convergence.
Convergence, like what?
Entertainment is blending like seamlessly with other industries, gaming, fashion, tech, even sports. It's leading to these new, almost metaverse-style ecosystems.
Right, the metaverse.
Yeah, where the lines between physical reality and digital content get really blurry. It creates these like holistic entertainment worlds.
That's wild. So the metaverse, does that mean my next concert really is going to be in some pixelated mosh pit? I mean, how immersive are we really talking? And how does all this blurring of lines actually, change our daily lives?
Well, the pixelated mosh pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. But it's maybe broader than that. Think about it more as creating shared, ongoing digital spaces where entertainment is just one part of it.
Okay.
So imagine not just watching a concert film, but actually experiencing a live virtual performance with your friends from all over the world. Maybe interacting with the virtual environment, perhaps even influencing the show somehow through votes or actions. These trends, taken together, they really paint a picture of an industry becoming way more interactive, much more localized in some ways, and just increasingly woven into, well, every part of our digital lives.
That was an absolutely incredible deep dive. We've covered so much ground on the global entertainment market. Those powerful drivers like digital demand and tech leaps, the very real challenges, piracy still being there, audience fragmentation.
Yeah, those are tough ones.
And these fascinating trends from, TikTok and user content all the way to VR and this media convergence idea.
And it's just so important, I think, to really grasp these dynamics. It doesn't matter if you're actually in the industry or just someone who loves movies or games.
Right.
Whether you're creating content, running a media company, investing money, these insights are pretty fundamental for figuring out where things are heading. And just a reminder, All that data, the analysis, it came from cognitive market research.
So, as we wrap up, here's something to chew on. If entertainment is shifting towards something we don't just consume, but we actively participate in, maybe even co-create, how does that fundamentally change our relationship with media itself?
That's a big question.
What new kinds of art, what new communities might spring up when that line between the audience and the creator keeps getting blurrier? And how will companies manage that constant tension between wanting massive global reach and needing that local, authentic connection? Lots to think about.
Definitely.
Thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive. Stay informed, stay curious, and keep exploring.